Councilmember Alejandra Avila is absent and she's been excused. Councilmember Jean Ayala.
Here.
Councilmember Monica Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hernandez.
Present.
And Mayor Lozano.
Present. Thank you very much, Deputy City Clerk Ms. Robles, for taking the roll call. All right. So at this point, we have public communication. Did anyone send any message or online? And Deputy City Clerk.
Mayor, there were some, but they did not meet the 3 o'clock deadline. They will be called at the 7 o'clock meeting as it pertains to the same subject on the item on the agenda.
Thank you, Deputy City Clerk. Appreciate that. All right. So at this point on the agenda, we have the open session study session, which is the portable shower overnight parking location presentation, followed by Community Development Department general update. Then we will recess to closed session. We have item 1, which is the public employee pursuant to Government Code 54957 position, public works manager. Item 2, public employee appointment. Item 3, conference with labor and negotiation. Then we have a conference with legal counsel, existing litigations. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. And also item number 5, which is a real property negotiation pursuant to Government Code as well. So that is what we have on the number 6, the conference with legal counsel and anticipated litigation. So at this point, the first item that we have are the portable shower overnight parking location presentation. Council members have any?
Mayor.
Councilmember.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Councilmember Monica Garcia, go ahead.
You know, I think that this is such an important item, and I think that we do need to receive a briefing as a full council. So I know that there was a coordinated effort to bring the item before council, and we have Volunteers of America and you know, others participating. But I would really like for us to have you know, the full council present when that briefing is provided to us, because it is an important issue. And you know, this way it gives an opportunity for us to receive the information at the same time and ask the questions, because I think that any direction moving forward is very critical and very important to our homeless plan. So that's my request.
All right, so at this point, that is a fair question. So also make a motion to bring back the portable shower overnight parking location presentation to the final city council meeting. That is the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second.
Thank you.
Councilmember Monica Garcia. Any objections? See none, so moved. So that will be moved over. Next one is the Community Development Department, which is the general update. All right, council members, any questions prior to that opening? If not, at this point, I will have Mr. Ben Martinez conduct the presentation. Mr. Martinez, sir, good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I'll just wait for the PowerPoint to appear. Does everyone hear me?
Yes. Everyone hear him?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
There should be a first slide. Is there a first slide? That's the second slide. Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor and City Council and the public. The Community Development Department oversees, you know, many divisions, including the planning, building, housing, community enhancement, and economic development. So at any one time, there's a lot of things happening. Tonight, because we had a little bit of room on the agenda, I asked the city manager if I could just update the council on some ongoing projects and programs in the department. So I'll just take a few minutes to do so. Next slide, please. This is the Be Proud program, the Baldwin Park resident-owned utility district logo. Next slide. Regarding the outreach and education, the program is a new program. It officially launched in October. And it's a citywide program affecting currently just the residential customers in the city. And with any new program so far reaching, there is a lot of questions, and we want to do as much outreach and education as possible. The city council asked the city manager and I to do more And so I just wanted to go over some of the things we've done lately and what we will be doing in the future regarding the Be Proud program. We did send out a customer notice back in August, and as the mayor and city council know, we do have now a website dedicated to the Be Proud program, and also a call center, a customer service center also is active. In September, we sent out the second notice mailing to residential customers. And then in October, the program was officially launched. The notices, the first two notices, those went out per the legislation and state law. So the way we're doing this process is in line with state law and launching a program like this. In October as well, we have posted a Did You Know and frequently asked question document in social media and the website. We did that in Spanish, Chinese, and English. We did a press release last week, and I'm in the process of putting together a simple step-by-step sort of instructional video for social media as well. In November, we'll do the third required notice, again, in all languages, Spanish, Chinese, and English. And we also put together a CalChoice, the organization that's assisting us with this process, filmed a Be Proud promotional video with us last week. And I'm hoping that will be available in November. It might be in December, but that was done as well. To talk about some of the benefits of the program. In December, we'll do the last required customer notice, again in all languages, and we'll move forward with the project. I didn't want to take this time to talk a ton about just the program itself. I just wanted to allow tell the council that we have followed their direction and updated these activities, and we're doing the best job we can to answer questions from the community when they call and inquire about the program. So thank you. And let's go to the next slide. The other activity I wanted to update the council on is the project-based vouchers program. The council authorized the Housing Authority to issue a request for proposals in July for the project-based voucher program. Just a 2-second commercial on what that is. The city has a housing authority, and we issue and have issued for many years tenant-based vouchers. Tenant-based vouchers are the vouchers that a family or a household receives after waiting and going through the process. And after they receive the tenant-based voucher, they go out and look for housing. And when they secure that housing, they apply their tenant-based voucher. So in other words, the tenant-based voucher follows the tenant. If they decide to move, then the tenant-based voucher follows the household to the new location. The project-based voucher is a little different, and it's a program that we've never done in the past here in the city of Baldwin Park. I might also remind the council that our housing authority and our Section 8 program does not just service the city of Baldwin Park, but also several of our neighbors, including El Monte, South El Monte, and Monrovia, and forget right next to us to the east. Forget their name. So it's a regional housing authority, and this is the first time that we issued such an RFP for a project-based voucher. And this project-based voucher differs from the tenant-based voucher because the project-based voucher will be granted, the vouchers will be granted to housing projects. And in the RFP, as authorized under the city council, we are going to be allocating these project-based vouchers to new construction, newly constructed affordable housing units. We did get applications. We did get 3 applicants and 4 projects. As you can see in the middle, we got a request for 216 project-based vouchers. Rome, in their phase 3 project, asked for 119. Cesar Chavez Foundation asked for 8 vouchers in an El Monte project they're working on. And they also asked for 52 project-based vouchers in a new project they're seeking and pursuing in the city of Baldwin Park. The Retirement Housing Foundation, the new senior housing project that we've been talking a lot about lately, they requested 37 vouchers for their Central Metro Place project. We have a maximum of about 270 vouchers that could be made available per HUD guidelines. And we're going to be reviewing these applications that we received in October, and we hope to bring back recommendations for council consideration in November. The benefits of the project-based vouchers are straightforward and simple. Basically, the more vouchers, project-based vouchers we utilize, it's more people we're preventing, providing affordable housing and preventing them from becoming homeless. And once these project-based vouchers are provided to the project and the project is constructed and in operation, these vouchers stay with the project, different from that tenant-based voucher that followed the household, like I explained before. And this project-based voucher will remain in perpetuity with the project, and house that tenant for as long as they stay there. If and when that tenant leaves, the voucher stays, and the new tenant that moves in will receive essentially the voucher, and it goes on and on and on. It's a much easier process. It's a much easier process to administer. So it's a good thing for the city because we receive administration dollars in the administration of these vouchers, and the project-based voucher program will be a lot easier to administer, and we'll be able to essentially help a lot more people. So the developers, the affordable housing developers, love project-based vouchers because it secures those tenants in their building, and it secures the rent and the revenue stream that will be paid to the developer as they develop and operate the units. So it's a very valuable thing. We'll talk about it a lot more when we come back in November, hopefully, with the recommendations. But I just wanted to update the council that the project is moving along just fine. And this is something HUD has really been asking us to do for a long time, and it's something that is very beneficial. As a side note, at the bottom there, McNeil Manor, the small project that the city, the housing authority owns, it's 12 units of senior housing. We're going to do a little mini PBV project there, and not with this program, actually with separate funding from HUD. We're going to do the same thing and apply very similar project-based vouchers to the McNeil program, McNeil Manor project. And that's a good thing because then the tenants will be paying the exact same rent as they are now, which are very, very low income. But the city, the housing authority will receive a lot more income because of the voucher. Just as an aside, remember, the tenant only pays 30% of their income, and then the voucher pays the rest of the rent up to whatever the fair market value of the rent is. So if a tenant's paying $100 a month and the rent is $1,000, the voucher is paying $900. Okay, so it's a good thing for McNeil Manor because it's becoming, as we all know, an older building, and we need to take care of maintenance and upkeep of that development. And so these project-based vouchers will help us do that. Next slide. I wanted to talk a little bit about our community.
Ben, really quickly.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Just if you can go back to the last slide. Really good information here. So again, the folks that are eligible for these units, are those, are we flexible enough to put Baldwin Park residents or Baldwin Park folks that are experiencing homelessness or any of that into these project-based units?
So a good
or do we
question.
have the same circumstances as we do with everything else? It's first come, first serve lottery kind of thing.
It is generally the latter. Yes, that we will provide the vouchers to the developer And then the developer will go through the process that we've talked about before, where they will do the outreach, and we can outreach locally and so forth, like we talked about before. But yeah, we can't put a special sort of requirement that it had to be a Baldwin Park first household.
No, I appreciate that, but at least we get, you know, close to about over 200 new units for low income, you know, folks living in our communities. So thank you again. Appreciate it. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for that, Dan. The sad part again is, well, never. I spoke a lot. I mean, excuse me, extensively last time regarding my personal feeling about that. It's unfortunate that we just can't allocate those to Baldwin Park residents. It just contradicts everything. We're trying to house low to moderate, yet we can't say we're going to bring you all in because the way these vouchers work, federal, state, and so on and so forth. So in essence, so we have 1, 2, 3 projects that will be coming into fruition, and then the McNeil Manor will be adding some PB version. So that's good. Got good report. All right, thank you, Ben.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a couple more slides.
Sure.
The Community Enhancement Program, formerly we used to call it Code Enforcement. I just wanted to share a few slides based on, you know, just what they're doing. We're still shaping and working the program. We by no means think we're perfect. We're listening to the community. We're listening to the mayor and council and everyone that's giving us input. But we're doing our best to create more of a community enhancement program rather than just a harsh code enforcement program. And you see our new vehicle, our new truck. You can see Jose Martinez, the supervisor in the community enhancement truck. New look, a nice new name, and you can see the legal banners that we're effectuating on either side there, kind of the before and after, trying to again clean up our community from that over signage, illegal signage that kind of kind of pollutes our city. When you have too much signage, it's not a good look. And so we're making having these property owners comply with our zoning regulations for signage. Next slide. And then, community enhancement is not an easy job. I can never give you enough photos, but they're all over the place. Up on the left, we're dealing with the illegal food vendors, which, we take great care in doing that. We understand that they're trying to sell food to support their families and so forth. But as we've talked about in the past, there are health and county regulations that must be followed. So we work to, gently remove these illegal vendors. You can see cannabis on the bottom left. Any illegal types of cannabis are usually closed in partnership with community enhancement in the police department. You can see, it's hard to see, but to the left there, left middle is a livestock. So we run across, roosters and so forth. We've had to chase those down. Illegal connections in the building there on the bottom, on the left. Illegal wiring, illegal building conversions. These are the types of notices in the middle that we post. The 99-cent store, a constant problem. We took that picture recently when it was cleaned up, and Mayor, I know it's a constant problem. You're always the one to point it out. We did make contact with the actual maintenance crew of that shopping center, and they promised they would keep it clean for them and the city, because we're in this together, and we will be checking in on them. If they do not, we will cite them, because that's been an ongoing problem. The upper right is an illegal nightclub. Cloverleaf, another project or another violation problem that we had to intervene and close. We're in that one right now. And then the right-hand side, you can see a lot of restaurants are bringing their outdoor dining, and we try to help them as much as possible comply with, the very easy process, the no fee permit process that we've established for outdoor dining. Next slide. Almost last, but certainly not least, new development. And again, I can talk a lot more than I'm going to right now, but needless to say, even in this time of the pandemic, City of Baldwin Park is seeing a lot of investment. I will say to you, Mayor, City Council, and the community that the um, the investment, the investor has not stopped. They have a longer outlook. An investor developer has a longer outlook on their project, and so the pandemic, right or wrong, they must see it as a shorter term problem because they are not pulling back on their investments. From what I can see in the amount of activity coming through the department, we have a new Jack in the Box on the upper right hand corner coming in. Plans were approved. We hope to get that Shakey's building finally demolished very soon here. We have a new car wash that was approved several months ago. That's going to be on Frasquito and we're right next to Taco Ready. Taco Ready is going through a conversion. I can't announce that right now, but there will be a new restaurant, a very exciting tenant at that site. We have two new Starbucks locations. Two new Starbucks locations. One of them is on the bottom left, the bank building on Baldwin Park Boulevard in Ramona. And that project is almost done, nearing completion. I think we have a KFC tenant there, Starbucks, and they're looking at several other food related tenants there. We also have another Starbucks at that Morisco's restaurant along the I-10. Yes.
Ben, sorry about that. You just meant that KFC will go inside the same building where we have a Starbucks. Is that who we're looking at? Is that what you said?
Yes, we also have a KFC tenant that's already applied.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you.
The Dunkin' Donuts is a little older, but that was new. And then we all know Raising Cane's is pretty much open, hiring and pretty much ready to start. And we have two new 7-Eleven locations. One, the latest one with the filling station right next to LA Fitness. And this is just a little sample of some of the commercial development. We have others that are brand new that I can't mention because when they first come in, they ask us to keep it, until they're fully committed and moving forward with the application process. That sometimes they ask for things to remain anonymous. But I can tell you the activity is good. We're very busy and we're moving forward. And this is just commercial development, but we also have a lot happening with residential development, both affordable and market rate. Next slide. And then just lastly, it's not as talked about as much, but behind the scenes, we are partnering with many organizations, and we have been, and we continue to find new ones to assist our business community. And I wanted to talk first about the virtual job series that we began. The council, I gave an update on that September 24th. We had a very successful event, well over 100 job seekers and 1,700 jobs were made available. Mayor Pro Tem Hernandez gave the opening word comments and welcome to the event. It was very well attended. It took the place of our normal job series that we used to hold in the Parks and Recs buildings. And it was very successful. We got a lot of good feedback on it. Is there any comments on that?
When's the next one?
Well, we don't have the next one scheduled yet, but it looks like we're going to try to do these monthly because they're so easy to put together. I mean, there's still a lot of work, but compared to having a live event in a building, these are a lot easier to put together. So and the interest is great. I mean, 1,700 jobs were available at this event. So we want to get even more job seekers and hopefully have one in late October.
Perfect. If we can aim for that, that'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the case. We'll use the billboards and all the outreach that we have in the past. And we have wonderful partners, including the AJCC, and taking the lead with us and putting this together. Other partners, a new partner, I should say, is CMTC, California Manufacturing Technology Center. And this corporation, this nonprofit corporation gets CARE, among other things, gets CARES Act money, just like we do. They focus in on manufacturers. I've worked with them in the past in other cities, and they were happy to come and partner with us. And they have some special CARES money where they essentially, in a nutshell, go into if they get invited to a manufacturer, a local manufacturer, they get a no cost assessment to that manufacturer. And these people really know what they're doing. They go into I've seen it in person. They go into the business, they understand manufacturing processes, and they study the business. This doesn't happen in 1 or 2 days. It happens over multiple weeks and months sometimes. And they get a written assessment for free. And I've seen, great efficiencies achieved with the assistance of CMTC. And these manufacturers, it's for free, for heaven's sakes. They love it, and they end up with a better operation. It's really exciting, and they've said, and we've done a mailer. We're reaching out to all of our local manufacturers on this program. And then just lastly, I'll end on the right. That's our SCORE program, and that's technical assistance to businesses. We've been doing it with the help of, in my department, of Victor Vitamontes. We've been doing this for years, and we'll continue to do that. And we have many other partners, but I just wanted to highlight these tonight. And thank you. I'll end my presentation.
Ben, our mayor.
Go ahead, Councilmember Monica Garcia.
Yeah, so Ben, excellent information with regard to the economic development plans. And I did have a question regarding the program project vouchers. So the applicants that have requested a certain amount of vouchers, it sounds like if they meet the criteria, they can be awarded the amount that they've requested. Is that true?
They have to meet the requirements, yes. And then it is up to the city council to award the amount that they're asked for or less. They don't necessarily have to, we're not under the obligation to fund them for exactly what they asked for. Okay. But staff hasn't, and staff will provide a recommendation on that, but we're not ready to do that today. Of course, we haven't even had our committee meetings, but we will provide that recommendation.
And so let me ask it this way then. We have enough vouchers if the council chose to award the amount requested by each applicant. We have enough vouchers to be able to provide or meet their request.
Yes, that is correct, Councilmember.
Okay, so I just wanted to know because I wasn't sure how the vouchers would be allocated. So it sounds like the process will be that each applicant will be reviewed to meet certain criteria, and then the recommendation will come to the city council in November.
Correct.
Okay, so that's great. That's good news. Because my concern was that we were gonna have scarce resources and having to pick and choose. So if each applicant meets the criteria and it makes sense to award them the amount that they're requesting for a more viable project, I'm glad that that's available to us versus having to pick and choose one over the other.
Yes, at this point, that option would be available if all of the applicants met all the requirements, and then potentially, in theory, we would have enough to fund all of them. In theory.
Right. In theory. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good news. The other thing, because if they're all presenting great projects, and we are supportive of us as a city, then that's great. Too many times we've had to just kind of pick and choose because of limited resources. So that's a nice place to be. My other comment with regard to Be Proud is I'm really not I really wish that the way that we rolled this program out would have been more accommodating to the community. And I say that because I don't think I saw the second notice that went out in September, or maybe I did. I saw one notice, and that's when, you know, we provided feedback about it being high, like really busy with a lot of text, and a lot of residents were contacting me, asking me about the program. So yeah, I wish that we would have been, you know, more community sensitive, more proactive in terms of getting that information out before launching the program, because I think some people even felt like they were crunched for time. And I don't think with such a big project like that, like this is, that should ever be the case. We should have, you know, more planning, more timeline involved, so that we can inform the residents so that they don't feel like, you know, they were caught off guard. So with that, my next question is, you say that there's going to be another notice. Is the city council, are you going to share that information with the city council?
I have a copy of it. I can share it with the city council. Yes.
Please. Yeah, that would be really helpful, because I know that even as recent as 2 weeks ago, I was getting questions about this. And again, you know, it was more just residents not really being clear about what we're rolling out exactly, what's the impact, what's the benefit, and you know, they just felt like they were being pressured. So not the best place for, you know, where I would have liked this to be, but you know, at the same time, it's probably been less than 10 people that have approached me. So I guess if I had to weigh it out, you know, it hasn't been like, the people haven't approached me in the masses, but the people that have approached me have been very confused. And they're usually people that are very informed and that, you know, are very involved in the community. So it just gives me a snapshot of what might be happening out in our city with regard to this item. So if you can share that notice with us, that would be really helpful.
Yes. Yes, I'd be happy to do that.
I don't think that I saw that. And it could have just been me overlooking the notice, but it would be helpful so that I know, you know, the information that was provided. Because like I said, even as recent as a couple of weeks ago, I know the mayor and Paul also received questions from the same, you know, constituents. I'm sorry, the mayor and the mayor pro tem.
That is correct. You are correct. Alrighty. So thank you very much. And a good question that you brought up there, Councilmember Monica Garcia. Councilmembers wishing to speak on this subject? If not, at this point, Ben, thank you very much for the presentation. Excellent. So we'll move on to the next subject, which we will be going into closed session.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. We just would need to log out, and those included in the closed session log back in on that. Thank you.